Hello, everybody. And last time, I think I said something along the lines of, I had another thing for you, and turns out that was basically the same thing as before, except, it was a pretty true charge thing. But today, I do have something new, and that is Arc-Tempered Kirin. You might notice my gear. I don't have any earplugs, because I actually found out a table that said what earplugs you need for each thing, so I'm going to be trying to min-max. Now, I should say this is not the first attempt we had. This was, in fact, the fourth or fifth, depending on how much I screwed up my numbering on my recordings. And before anybody asks, it was a pretty even split between who fainted. I think I might have taken the lead this time, though. So yeah, Arc-Tempered Kirin. What's so different about it? Oh, you know, Hell Incarnate, basically. Also, kind of wish I would have gotten that draw charge. But Hell Incarnate, essentially, is what this fight is. Now, you might say, well, Barok, I noticed you didn't have any vitality decorations. You need vitality for this. No, you don't. No, it probably makes it a little more forgiving, but you can still be one-shotted. Glascoe knows all about that. He had some vitality, and he just went boom and just kind of exploded. I remember that. I remember it explicitly. I went, wow, he just evaporated. So the takeaway from this is just, for God's sake, don't get greedy. For God's sake in heaven, don't ever try and swing more than once. Don't get any funny ideas about staying on the thing and swinging willy-nilly. No. You'll notice I made an entire build for this. It's a draw charge build. It's a really crappy build, but it's the best I could do in a fight like this where I'm basically just doing this. Of course, I did screw up. I probably shouldn't have had focus. I had pie-in-the-sky dreams of charging up my draw charge, and then the ugly reality just kind of smacked me in the face and went, you dude, you just wasted like well, here we go. Here's the pie-in-the-sky coming to fruition right there. But you can tell that's not near as much damage. One, because it's an arc-tempered, and two, because it's a draw charge build. Yeah. That's with the Thunder Mantle on. That's how much damage that does. Not a whole lot, but without that Thunder Mantle, that does about 120 health, I want to say. It takes most of my health out if I get hit when I don't have a Thunder Mantle on. This fight, if you thought Luna was bad, this fight, or rather I should say, I guess, if you thought Tempered Kirin was bad, you don't want to mess with this pony. This pony will just, well, it'll leave you shocked. Let's just leave it at that. One could debate the usefulness of my stun resistance here, but I think it saved my life quite a few times. One thing I'm not clear on, and maybe someone can clear it up, I'm sure Conceive Sorrow will if no one else does. If I get my little thunder, like if you get hit by some of his attacks, you'll get like, I couldn't hardly see that if you're wondering why I got hit by that. If you get hit by, for example, that attack, you notice that little well, if I didn't have my little Thunder Mantle on, but if you don't have your Thunder Mantle on, if you get hit and you have stun resistance, do you get stunned? I don't know. Because I have 100% stun resistance, and that does stun, right? So theoretically, I don't know if that debuff actually even does anything at that point, because you can still get the debuff. I've got it before. I wondered if it actually does anything. Or if that's one of their famous glitches where if you have 3 blight resistance things and it just kind of doesn't work. I might add that also doesn't work with stun sometimes. I know sometimes, a lot of times it'll work, but sometimes if you have 3 stun resistance, you can still be stunned. It's rare, and I don't think it should happen, but it happens. It's about like I said, if you have 3 blight resistance, you can still be blighted. It shouldn't happen. I believe that's a glitch, but that they never have fixed, to my knowledge. But they really should. Look, I like the roster increases, Capcom, but for God's sake, man, you got to fix your game here a little bit. But yes, the Temporal Mantle. The Temporal Mantle will save you from death probably more times than I can count, because it saved me more times than I can count. The basic name of the game here is hit and run. Don't be too greedy, don't hit too much in a single time, and you'll probably be fine. Also, I'm just gonna tell you, even with the greatsword, I highly recommend you bring mega bombs for this. Why? Because you don't want to fight Kirin. As long as you don't want to fight Kirin after it wakes up. You want to try and limit that time. So, yes, even I brought mega bombs for this. And I used them too, to pretty decent use. Not the best, I don't think I placed them exactly right, but to be fair, I was trying to show Glascoe where he should put his, so he didn't end up covering the whole horn. Which is, I think, fair, because that's my job. I'm supposed to wake the thing up. But, I missed, I think. But actually, no, I think I did hit. I hit something. I guess you'll get to see what I hit later in about 30 minutes, because it's a very long... This is, like I said, this is a slog of a fight. This is a fight where I hope you don't have anything better to do, because if you're gonna live, you're... I think Arc-Tempered Kirin has a more health than Tempered as well, which doesn't really help with her, increased defense. But, I gotta tell you, the health regen on my Purgation's Atrocity, great for Valhazak and Kushala Deora and Urgagante and pretty much everything else, but not so good against Arc-Tempered stuff. It gives me a lot of sustainability, and that's one of the reasons I like having this augment on my greatsword, because I can heal for like 60 damage in one true charge, but, yeah. It don't work so well when, you know, you having to stay at full health, and you don't want to get anywhere near the thing when you're less than full health, so this was probably an oversight. I probably should have went with the Wyvern Ignition here. You see the cautiousness crept up on me there. Apparently nobody was expecting that. And it's time to get out of here. Greed will be our undoing here. Honestly, this fight's not that bad. If you've learned how to not be greedy, the only time you will die, and you might still die, I don't want to say you'll never die if you're not greedy, the only time you'll still probably die is if it like charges at you and knocks you down, and then it does its little new move where it surrounds you with like, seems like 10 different lightning bolts, and it just boom, and you die. That's happened to me. It's happened to Glasgow. I watched it is almost instantaneous. But besides that, you probably won't die, assuming you've actually, you know, learned something or other about this fight. Yeah. Other than that, it's just a test of how little will you screw up, or how much will you screw up. Which essentially leads to, have you learned her moveset? As you might notice, I only have certain parts I swing at. Or rather, I only have certain times I swing, generally, and I don't usually swing with a strong charge. Normally, it's just the draw charge, roll away, sheath, draw charge again. Of course, that's the name of the build. It's a draw charge build, so... Also, I recommend you carry lots of life powders. I don't care how competent your teammates are. Everybody's going to get hit by those little blue things occasionally on the floor. It's just going to happen. I'm not calling anybody out. God knows I've gotten hit by more than my fair share of those things. But it's just good practice in general to have life powder and herbal powder, so that you don't have to go back to camp if you want to heal again. Herbal powder's not as effective as life powder, but it still does recover health. I know I said that before. I'm probably a bit too much of a team player, but I like being able to heal. Even with 3 Crick Sheath. You can still get caught. Also, don't be ashamed of using items, and use loads of them. You're gonna need to if you're using a greatsword, and you're, you know, getting hit all the time like I am. This is not a good place to be. I can't really see where it's at, but I think, okay, well, I'm lucky that didn't hit me. Also, this shouldn't have to be said, I've said it before, but where you fight this thing later in the match determines very much how it's going to go. Because I remember we didn't like where it was trying to fight a few times, so we just kind of like lured it back here so we have a decent area to fight. And that's a really good idea to do so, because you don't want to be caught in a cramped space with Arc-Tempered Kirin. Just trust us on that. We've done it before. It's not fun. It was kind of fun, except for that, you know, imminent death just kind of like hanging over our heads at any given screw up. That was not really that much fun, but I mean the surviving part was kind of fun. But I mean, we're getting off topic now. There it is. Can I actually pull this off? Oh, no. I was a little off. Can you... Oh, jeez. Can you imagine if I had, though? That'd been sweet. I don't know what it's doing. I think it's going after Glascoe down there, but I'm just going to take an opportunity to take advantage of this. And this is not a place I like fighting Kirin. You can tell on the floor, it's really hard to see much of anything. So I'm like, you know what, fuck it. I'll just go down here. At least I can see what's going on the floor down here. And then we're like, okay, let's just... No. We got to retreat this. We don't want to fight in this. I've called it out before in videos. I don't want to fight here again in that. Let's just go back here. And it takes a long time to do this. I'll give you that. But it's so worth it to not have to fight him up there in that mess. And it's a mess up there, trust me. You want to fight it down here. Now, a lot of people will say, oh, use a ranged weapon and Kirin's just easy. Well, I would kind of agree with that. I could see a light bowgun, even a heavy bowgun being pretty easy. From what I've seen of bows, though, I don't think that Kirin would be that easy with a bow. But I don't know. Maybe if you just charge shot and walk around a lot, maybe. I have no idea how you're supposed to use a bow, though. So, one interesting bit of trivia about the temporal mantle that greatsword users will no doubt find out is if you tackle, you don't evade. No. You eat the full damage. Or at least it seems like the full damage. Whereas with a regular tackle, you get like a reduced damage. If you have a temporal mantle on, it seems like you take full damage when you tackle through shit. I don't know if that's a glitch or if that's just intended because you're not supposed to do that or what? Okay, maybe it was reduced. It didn't seem like it reduced, but I guess it was reduced. Never mind, I'm wrong. I was spreading fake news there. It wasn't my intention. But yeah, you still get hit though, regardless, if you do tackle through things. So be aware of that. And it's actually kind of almost better to just take the evade. Even though it wears out your mantle faster, the mantle itself doesn't last all that long in the first place, but for those wondering, it can chain activate, meaning if Kirin hits you with one of his little blue things. One interesting thing that I don't know if is a glitch or intended, he can just like hit you with his horn and it will not evade. It could be on, but he'll still hit you with his horn and knock you over. You will not evade. I don't know if that's intended or if not, but I'm going to assume it is. But I'm just trying to note the little interaction because I sure got hit and did not evade when I got hit by Kirin before with that mantle on. But that is something to take note of. It's not a catch-all, oh, I'm invincible. No, you're not invincible. See how much damage that does? Oh, man. I was like, no. 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 That hurts. That's how much, that's why I'm running around like a jackass most of the time, trying not to get hit. That's the whole point, not get hit. You might think, well, you're doing like no damage, you're just running around the whole time, healing each other. Yeah? Well, it's working, isn't it? Well, not really. I mean, you kind of just ate a big thing in the face there, but, again, you'll notice I just start panic diving. And I think most people would rather I do that. But you notice that zzz, what happens if I got hit there? Would I be stunned? I had 100% stun resistance. That's what I was talking about earlier. I have no idea if I'd been stunned or not. But yeah, it's, my focus was not hit as many draw charges as I can in a little time. My point was just try not to die. That's why I'm just kind of sitting here. Also, you might notice I'm using Mind's Eye. For those who don't know, Mind's Eye is a decoration. I think it's a level 2 decoration, or whatever the equivalent is. I don't remember the exact terminology. It takes 2 slots, essentially a 2-slot thingy. It's not a good place to be in. And that keeps it so you don't get, what do you call it? You don't bounce. Also, take time to restock. You want to restock. It makes it so you cannot bounce. It is a godsend in this fight. So if you miss, you don't bounce, and then just kind of die. Because more than likely, if you bounce, that's probably what's going to happen. I give up my critical gem slot for it, so you know I'm serious. You know I'm serious when I say that it's pretty important. Now, a lot of people don't have the luck to get one. I have 3. Of course, some people have 7 fucking critical gems, and I have 1. So I think it all evens out. Now I'm just bitching. But damn you, RNG! Give me my crit gems. I don't know what you're aiming at, but I was trying to figure out what he's doing. I'm like, I don't even know if I want to get over there, because I might just get hit. I think it was attacking the floor below. Oh. You might also notice, Barok, why don't you use the radial menu? You want to know why I don't use the radial menu? Because every time I try and use the radial menu, half the time it just goes, nope. You're not actually going to use the item. Nope. So fuck it, I'll just go back to my Dark Souls days of just scrolling through a thing. No, yeah, it's good enough for then, it's good enough for now. In my opinion. Also, take note, if someone is using a gun lance or a lance and they get hit, but you can heal them up with a life powder, you should probably heal them up with a life powder because they're not going to want to sheath up and heal. It really makes a big difference. Trust you me on that. That one was just, not really... I know this is going to sound cheap and probably more than a little trite, but that was a whoopsie. That was more of those, damn it, don't get on, and then I just kind of died. Because I'm not used to fighting in that locale. I know that sounds like, oh, Mr. Excuses here. No, but I really was one of those, damn it. It was not intended. Well, that was a big whiff. Oh man, we're only about halfway through this video. Holy shit, I'm out of things to talk about. Well, let's see, what could we talk about in this Kirin fight? Besides what I've already talked about. The only things new he has is what I said, he has a move where it seems like it just surrounds you with lightning, and it's hard as shit to avoid. You can avoid it, I've done it, but it's just very difficult to do it. He also has a new move that's something to do with his horn swipe. I think they extended that animation. It was kind of cheap, but I think it's technically a new move. It's not a lot of new moves, but it's some new moves. But, yeah, I don't want to say it's a copy, because it's technically not, but yeah, they could have done a little bit more. But it's hard to, I don't know. I don't know. For those wondering, you do need 7 tickets. You need 7 tickets to complete this event, to complete the Arc-Tempered Kirin armor and the Palico armor. Wait, no, Palico doesn't have an armor for this, I checked. I know you need 7 tickets, though, for, I think it's 5 for the armor and then maybe 2 for something else. That was from Reddit. Okay, I don't know how factual that is. I heard 7 tickets is what you need to complete this event. So, yeah. So it's a bit of a grind if you want to actually get all the tickets. Oh yeah. This, I can't really tell where the things were, but apparently I guessed right. Wouldn't have mattered anyway. I had my temporal mantle on, but that's not something you want to bet on or count on. You might wonder, Barok, you just kind of just... You're going for a true charge? That's right. I had Temporal Mantle on, so what? It was actually a pretty good attempt, too. If I hadn't done that one thing, I would have hit it. If only. The cry of the failure. Yeah, whatever. One thing I will say, though, if you both have a Temporal Mantle on, I think Kirin kind of goes nuts. Because I've noticed whenever I have a Thunder Mantle on, he has a Temporal Mantle on, or vice versa, Kirin usually seems to go after the one with the Thunder Mantle. It doesn't want to go after the one that it deems invincible or near invincible, usually. You might notice it's pretty much just chasing after me. Oh, I guess not right there, unless you... I don't know, that was just a guess. But it seems like if you both have it on, it just goes nuts. It just starts running around, like, a lot more. And just going crazy. Whereas if only one is invincible, it's just annoying, but better. That's just anecdotal evidence. For all I know, that's not true, but it does seem like it. So I thought I'd bring it to attention. I hope, by the way, you Greatsword users are taking note of the angles I'm using to hit the thing, and the moves that I'm, not getting hit afterwards, because you need to pay attention to when you can swing. By the way, I don't recommend trying to charge here, like, at all, so I'd probably, like I said, I'd probably not have focus on my build if I had to build it all over again, which I will after this. I'll probably take that out of this build because I'm not charging hardly at all. And probably add, like, I don't know, max performance or... No. What could I add here? I don't know. If I got rid of... Oh, either way. I don't know if I even can get rid of that in the build, actually thinking about it. No, either way. Glascoe's almost dead, because he ate some electric in the face and I nearly did myself. I really don't like it when it's sitting in a corner, by the way. It's not where you want to be. Oh yeah, I'd replace the feet with something else, because I think I have the Rathalos thing, so I could replace the feet pretty easily, and then the gloves I could replace. So yeah, I could replace it fairly easily. I'll do that probably later today. When I go try and kill Arc-Tempered Kirin again. Assuming anybody actually wants to go. I don't really relish the thought of trying to do this in randoms. I'm just going to tell you that now. I would imagine that this has a lower clear rate than Devil Ho, which I've only succeeded twice ever online with. And I'm not talking about with friends, I mean randoms. I've only ever succeeded twice with randoms. Ever. With Devil Ho. Tempered, anyway. I'd imagine Arc-Tempered Kirin is probably half of that success rate, but I don't know that. Time to take off that mantle. Yeah. Okay, so he should be getting tired here soon. Oh, there he goes. And speak of it, and there he goes. Ah, man. This fight. You know, this was originally 45 minutes when I started editing this. I cut off 10 minutes of me running around and dying. Well, when I was running back from dying, I cut that out as well. Oh, man. Let's see. I thought it'd be getting tired right about now. Oh, wait, no, that's about 5 minutes. I think it starts getting tired. Also, one thing to keep note of in these long fights that is easy to slip your attention until it's too late. Make sure you have rations on hand. A lot of people don't carry rations, and I don't have any idea why. And the reason, oh god, the reason is because you will get tired, and your maximum stamina will go down. And that's not good, obviously. And that can lead you to huffing and puffing on your knees like an asthmatic like me. And that will kill you. It's easy to overlook and just go, oh, I'll just stop sprinting a half a second earlier. Well, when you don't notice that your things, this is gutsy as all hell, but I managed to time that with the ease of a swan. Swans are graceful, right? I think they are. I don't know. I was gonna say a mongoose, but then I realized that's probably a little too close to the original Zach Brannigan quote. That and swans are just elegant as fuck when you look at them. Anyway, is a swan dive. No, but I wish I had the agility of those superstars. Anyway, I'm thinking of swanton dive anyway, not swan dive. Anyway, this I just decided, you know what, screw it, I can eat it. I got the temporal mantle on. Unfortunately, Glascoe, I think either had the same idea or didn't realize he was in it. But we all make mistakes, you know. That's I made a mistake and died earlier, didn't I? Well, it's not like I can cast stones. Okay, so this, you might think, it's almost over. It's limping away. Look at the time. We have almost half a video to go. Because of how scared we were of dying for the last two times. If you're wondering what that was, I was trying to see what point would look like, and I was like, just because we had a thing of, oh, just tell me where to put the bombs. I'd put the bombs there, and he did not block the horn. That is good form for. I just missed to the right. That was completely my fault. That was not the bomber's fault. That was not Glascoe's fault. I just missed there. Okay, so. You know, that was just a good old-fashioned human error. But we still got a good 600 or 700 damage, I think, there, so... Hey, that's not a terrible wake-up. That's pretty bad, but that's not a terrible wake-up. At least compared to what I'm used to seeing on a wake-up. I'm used to seeing, like, 1,500, 1,600, 2,000. But, whatever. That one was just my fault because I'm not used to playing with the gun lance. I saw the thing exploding, but I just kind of said, fuck it, I'll just walk in front anyway. Now, this is a strategy that doesn't really work for me because I can't aim for beans, but in this battle, picking up those dragon paws and just kind of shooting it at it while it's running around like a jackass is actually a pretty good plan. But you have to be able to aim with it. I can't aim with it, so I think I only hit like 1 or 2 dragon paws out of that whole thing. I don't think I'll be able to... No, I'll hit this. There we go. And this is not the end. You're very optimistic if you thought this was the end. Look how much damage I do. It's not a lot. I mean, I know this is my weak greatsword. This is my weak ultra greatsword, but for God's sake, man. 278 damage on a fully charged true charge or strong charge. Whew. That's insane. Barok, you just went into a field of electric and you just managed to dodge all of it. Yeah? Do you have the pattern down or something? No, I just wing it every time. But you just dodged it again. That's right. Welcome to my greatsword. You play. I just wing it. And more often than not, it just kind of works. I imagine the greatsword users who actually put, effort into trying to learn how to use the greatsword probably are just like, why did I have to learn all this stuff and this guy can just kind of wing it? Of course, a lot of greatsword users I know just... And by I know, I mean I ran into in SOS. Most of them just use circle, circle, maybe triangle occasionally. I was trying to dive there if you couldn't notice, but it didn't let me. And Kirin just says, fuck you, and wouldn't even let me get up. That's... No. You saw it as well as I did. That's what happened. That one I do not take responsibility for. Well, I guess I take responsibility for the first hit. The first hit was my fault. But the second hit, I argue the validity of that one, sir. Maybe that's just because I got screwed hard, but... There's a saying in the arc-tempered variety, if that thing wants you dead, you will die. So, that one? No, that's pretty much correct there. We're down to our final feint, by the way. If anybody dies, we lose. So, you'll notice both of us being quite conservative here. We're not, well, I'm not, but I have a temporal mantle on, so I can afford to not be. But yeah, if he does... It's, man. I swear the second half of the fight, meaning the last 15%, the last 15% of the fight takes almost as long as the first 85%. Just because we were too scared to die, we're like, I don't want to go near the thing. I'm afraid I'll die if I do. He's sitting over there like, well, he has a temporal mantle on. I think I'll just let him go after it, and then there it goes. And I don't blame him. I do not blame him. If I didn't have a temporal mantle on, I'd be running around like a jackass, you betcha. Yeah. We've been doing this for like 3-4 hours prior to this. We did not want to die again, man, I'll tell you. Don't you do it. Alright. Yeah. Missed. Don't ask me where he is. I think he's trying to go to better pastures, and I'm just up there fighting in a place we have no business fighting. Any minute now, he'll come down. There you go. Come on down. Oh, God. That's like out of a movie right there. The ground below starts crackling, and he jumps off a cliff. You can see that on the movie. I can see that in the movie. We can all see that in the movie. Is he coming down here, or... No, or... I was trying to see where the hell's the thing at. It's just... It's nowhere. We're trying to pull it back down here because we don't want to fight it up there. Trying to see where it was. Okay, there it is. Now we're trying to... Okay, he went down. And for some reason I went up. Don't ask me why. I don't know why. I guess I tried to do this. And it actually worked, to be fair. But that was risky as all shit. This is risky as all shit, too. But it works pretty damn well. Now, the reason I say that was risky is because that could have just pulled lightning down from the sky out of its ass if it so felt like. And I would have been caught in midair with no reprieve. Also, I will say Kirin is probably without a doubt the hardest monster to, how do I put this tactfully? Mount, I guess. That's not very tactfully. But it's very easy to fall off. And I'm not too good with that whole thing. Because I just fell off. That was not, oh no, he fell down. Okay, never mind. No, it wasn't my fault. Wasn't my fault. No, I think it was. And now is the time to panic. This is not where you want to fight. I at least have the Thunder Mantle on. And Glascoe doesn't, so he's out. And I don't blame him. And now we're going back to the good area, because we don't want to fight up here. You see how paranoid I am. I'm diving at everything. Because I think I'm 2/3 of our deaths right now. Where's the... It's like, come on, man. Come on. Come on over here, man. Pastures are greener over here, man. You got grass over here. There you go. There you go. There you go. Because fighting up there's a death trap. Now, there are some arguments that people say, oh, well, if you fight in a smaller area, the lightning doesn't cover as big of an area. Personally, I've never seen that. The lightning's still pretty fucking big, in my opinion. But, hey, maybe they're right. I don't know. That was just kind of crap. But that was kind of my fault for not looking. But I just kind of like a little middle finger snuck in silently and stealthily, you know. God, I hate adverbs. But I do use them in my day-to-day speech. I just don't use them in my writing. But yeah, that, we're coming near the end, folks. Will we survive or will we die? Hey, I've been known to show death clips, even if it is the 4th run. You never know if this is a successful or a fail. That's the way you do. That was like, oh my god. Well, it should hold for another 15 minutes or so, but that was not what you want to see when you're fighting Arc-Tempered Kirin. Oh, man. What's my... Yeah, also another thing I will say, using the Shield Spire taunt is fantastic for this fight. You'll notice that I'm not using the choral orchestra. This thing that I'm using right now is fantastic, because you can get it to basically do its little electric thing in front of it, which you can easily just get to its side and swing from the side and hit it in the horn. That way, it's very easy to basically get a pretty good, you know, draw charge off. You just have to be anywhere near it, but I figured that was probably a good idea to equip my Palico with that instead of a Plunder Blade, which I had, because I was fighting Lunastra prior, and I thought, oh, you know, I'll just use the Plunder Blade. No, you gotta try and min-max where you can for this fight if you want to survive. I was holding my breath when I heard that clank from Glascoe, I'll tell you that. I heard that clank, I was like, oh god, I think he's about to die. Oh, I thought I was about to die too. You can tell I was panicking because I just swallowed a max potion and I was like half health. Oh, it's hilarious watching myself panic. I was like, oh my god, I don't have any life powders to throw at him. I got none left and I'm about to die. Oh god, I was like, you stay the hell away from me. Stay away from me. Yeah, that, we're just trying to slow it down, fighting our own, oh god. Slow it down, fight our own pace, and that's why you bring a Temporal Mantle. That's why you do it. With a Temporal Mantle, you can go balls deep. It's probably not a great idea to go too deep if you've been using it for a while, but you can go deep if you use one. Boom! A fully charged draw charge. I'll tell you, there's few things feeling better than that, than just laboring through fighting something for 4 hours with a friend, just going, hey, you know what, we'll eventually kill it, and then you kill it. That's what Monster Hunter and games like Dark Souls for me are all about. The jolly cooperation between killing something that is near impossible. Okay, so it's not near impossible, it's just really annoying. But still, I hope some greatsword users learned how to, or when and how to swing, because that's probably the only thing you're gonna get from this, because I showed you how to do the draw charge technique. If you're wondering what I was doing, I was trying to see if I could get the actual wake up, because I screwed up the wake up. Trying to prove to myself that I can do it. I think that hit, but I couldn't really tell. I might have missed to the left, but yeah, that's it for Arc-Tempered Kirin. It took 4 attempts. 4 attempts, but I was duoing it. The hardest way you could possibly ever do it, in my opinion. 1 ticket. 1 Kirin ticket. I need 6 more. I also got a dual blade augmentation, so that's kind of cool. I'll use those later. Excuse me. I was hoping that's gonna be a sword, but it's blade. Ew. Give me 2 more so I can fully upgrade my Wyvern Ignition. Yeah, I'm an item addict. You know how many life powders, herbal powders, and all that other stuff I tossed? And potions I drank? Ooh. Well, that's it for now, everyone. So hopefully I will see you later. Until then, everybody.